Aloha offline sharks. Welcome to the Aloha Friday marketing jam session. Where'd you get that? How did you get that sign in New York?
Somebody mailed it to me. Yeah. Tim mailed it to me.
Who did?
Tim.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's pretty sick, right?
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
And look, it's a real one. I think he ripped it off of the beach somewhere and mailed it to me.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. Well, welcome everybody. You're here for another amazing Aloha Friday marketing jam session. We have a great show lined up for you today. So I think, Nick, I'm just going to cue the intro and then we'll get this bad boy started.
Let's do it.
Are you ready for the fastest 60 minutes of local marketing strategy, tactics, tips, and fun on planet Earth? It's now time. The moment you've been waiting for. After 167 agonizing hours, they've returned. Broadcasting live from their island retreats, smack dab in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and now back for a brand new Sharks Live show. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we are here live. That backdrop is so awesome in the place you're standing. You see the buildings in the background. It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's hard to get it to. I'm kind of dark, right?
You were in the beginning, not now though. Not too bad. I'm hoping when I get to Nevada, I have a pretty good backdrop. We'll see.
Buy some cactus and put them behind you.
Yeah. We'll see. Well, welcome everybody. I see people are coming on. Friday marketing jam session. Cameron wrote, of course, in the house. Welcome everybody. If you're here, say hello in the chat. I see you guys coming on. Like the stream. Get us going. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Let's get a good amount of likes on this one. I think we're gonna have a good one. We're gonna give away lots of money. We're gonna talk about the path to six figures, how to get to six figures from having a goose egg, no money, to six figures. And Dorn Dorn says do this jam session from the fountain in Vegas. Are you getting excited for Vegas, Tom?
I am. So I don't know if you guys probably don't know this. Nick knows this, but like I take my daughters to the nail salon every so often and we get pedicures and I get my big toes painted, just my big toes. And I do different things all the time. Like I did sharks one time. I do all kinds of different stuff. Anyway, this time on each big toe, on one big toe, I have the ace of spades. And on the other big toe, I have the ace of diamonds. So I got pocket rockets already heading to Vegas. Yeah. So
prospect rockets,
pocket rockets. So I'm excited. Yeah. That's and funny. I think the girls are getting excited too. You know, my oldest daughter today is her 8th grade graduation. So I officially have a high school student, which just boggles my mind. Like, I feel like I was just in high school. Like I'm not supposed to have a kid that's in high school.
So. Yeah. That's man, they've grown up so fast. Even just the short time that we've known each other.
Is it crazy? It's crazy.
I remember when you were dropping them off at kindergarten.
Yeah. They come run around. Like, yeah, it's really crazy. Well, aloha. Welcome, everybody. Aloha, Dorn. Dorn was it was so awesome to see Dorn win the money the other day. That was great.
Yeah, that was so funny. Dorn is a true Megalodon shark, which is, again, what we're going to be talking about on this stream, you guys, because we have some Megalodon sharks in the trenches on this live stream, sharks that are now, making the six figures and beyond. And in true fashion, Dorn was on, an affiliate was promoting one of our offers recently, and he was on their training, and he won $100. Just... It was so funny. We were cracking up.
Yeah, we were texting each other in the background. We're like, "Oh my god, Dorn won!" Yeah, it was great. Hey, I know we're going to be talking about the contest too. Did you see that post in Slack from Cam?
Let me look real quick.
Yep, I guess he put all of them in the show notes there.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So easy for you to find. Easy for you to find.
Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I see it.
Awesome. Yeah. And actually, we can go ahead and start with that, I think, because before we dive into the path to six figures and all that stuff and, scaling, growing an agency, all those things, right now, we have an awesome contest going on inside the community. So this is what we're doing. It's a $2,000 cash contest, right? So we did a promotion not too long ago with Dr. Ben Atkins and his coffee money. And you don't need coffee money to participate in this contest or anything like that. But basically what we thought would be fun is we'd have a contest. So we'd have people make some repurposed content from the awesome stuff we produce here in Offline Sharks, like, the Friday live show, the YouTube channel, Nick's YouTube channel, my podcast, basically anywhere you see us sharing things that you like, people can repurpose those into content that we could share on social media. And we were going to pick some winners from the best ones. And first place is going to win $1,000. Second place is $650, and third place is going to be $350. And more than likely, someone is going to end up with a reoccurring client out of this deal, because we have a lot of stuff going on and we have a lot of content. We'd like to up our game there. So we thought this would be a fun way to do it. Bring some people into the Offline Sharks community. So this is the contest. I'm going to show you one more slide here on how to enter. So there's a post about this inside the Facebook group, right? So if you just go to that post, you create a piece of content, share it, hashtag it with #shark. So we can go through and look at all the entries. And then we're going to be announcing the winners, I think next week on the live show. So we'll be doing that as well. Yeah. So that's awesome. I'm excited about that. And I think, Nick, you pulled up some of the entries we had so far. We're going to show a few of them, right?
I did. Yep. First of all, a lot of people were tripping out that I was on the left side. So I moved myself over to the right side to make you guys so you didn't feel too awkward. The other thing is for those of you who is a member of the Coffee Money and who is already posting content? Let me know in the comments if you are already posting some of that content, following the strategy, if you're entered the contest. I mean, Tom, we're in trouble here, man. There are some good...
I know.
Like the stuff that you guys have been making. And if you guys have seen that content, please hit the like on this stream. It's pretty amazing. We're going to have our jobs cut out for us deciding who are the winners. And I think we're going to hire somebody. I mean, based off of what I've seen, I've been impressed. People have been hitting me up from our Facebook group, other people that have, audiences and memberships, and have been like, what have you guys been doing in your group to like just blow it up like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've had tons of participants like Tom Dixon, Aaron Tardos, Ray Wolfton, Dean Pesci, William Ballard, Kim Kirsten, Andrew Anderson. Who else? Apul. Yeah. I mean, we've had some great people submitting stuff, and Nick's going to pull up a few things. Says, oh man, that one looks awesome.
So these are some examples, you guys. And all you have to do is #shark. So I'm looking at the hashtag right now. If you go in the Facebook group and use the search feature, you'll be able to see all of these. But look at this. This one's really cool. Kim Kirsten. This one really stood out to me. This audio. What do you call this, Tom? Audiogram?
It's called an audiogram.
Right.
Yeah.
So what people are doing is basically going to either recording of the jam session like you're on right now, or Tom's podcast, or my YouTube channel, and grabbing a little snippet or a piece of content and helping us to repurpose that and share all this good information in our Facebook groups. And so, I mean, you're all you have to do is that, right? And obviously Ben's strategy shows people how to do that. You don't have to have Ben's strategy to be participating. So I want to make that clear to everybody. Anybody can participate in this. All you have to do is go find a piece of our content and post it in the group. Do one of these posts where, I mean, look at that. That's my weird looking mug right there, cut in half with a quote that I said in a video. I mean,
yeah.
Here's another one that's a YouTube video, just a little snippet cut off of it. This one is really cool too. William Ballard, off of Tom's podcast from episode 2, about if Tom had to start over, what he would do. Ready, fire, aim. This is an audiogram too. I see a little movement down there.
Yep.
Kirsten, also an awesome job promoting one of the videos that I made on YouTube that promote this Facebook group. And I hope you all see the value that these little pieces of content have for people like us. And there is a huge market for people that need to have their content repurposed. I mean, look, Tom and I are busy, and some of you have been with us long enough to know that we have a pretty massive team behind us. I know, like, Tom and I jump on these jam sessions and it's just him and I here, but you guys would be surprised how many people have their hands on this thing to make it actually happen every Friday. I mean, I think there's like 6 or 7 people that are helping us with the show notes, helping us schedule everything, helping us get all of the graphics together. Like, these are all different people that are helping us do all this. So that's just an example of how much help we need, how busy our schedules are. And we are not alone. There are a lot of people out there. So if you learn this little skill, which we're having fun with it, we have a contest out there. If you learn this skill, you guys can follow this strategy and go find yourselves some people that have the money that would be happy to pay you month after month to just repurpose their content. So it's such a great strategy. That's why we promoted it. And I mean, look at all this stuff. Like, it goes on and on and on. If you guys are wondering about any examples of how to do this, I mean, I don't even know where some of these images are coming from. I don't even know.
It looks great. And by the way, like, it doesn't have to be people like us that are doing podcasts and things like that for this service as well. Like, there's a lot of business professionals out there that would love to have a service like this, because again, they're busy. Realtors, people in service businesses, people that would love to have somebody behind them helping them put out content, things they post, stuff like that. So, you know, it is a big market. And I like what you said, learn this little skill. And it is a skill, and it's a skill that once you learn it, like, just by participating in the contest and getting some, you know, learning how to do the skill, like, that's something that no one can take away from you, right? Like, you now have that skill. It's in your tool belt, and, you know, you may not be using it today, but you may use it down the road. So, you know, I think it's all around a great contest and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. Tom, we have never looked so cool, man. So,
I know.
you guys have done an amazing job. Tom and I mean, it really just, it's so awesome to see this stuff. And I think it's bringing a lot of people together. It's bringing us a little closer to a lot of you as well. And I can't wait to actually go through everything with, like, you know, a little more of a fine tooth comb and pick out some winners, because when we bring somebody on, I mean, we're going to be able to produce some amazing content. And there's so much of it out there that we have, and it's great to bring it back to the surface.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, really awesome to see everybody participating. Cool. So, you know, I think what we should do next, Nick, so we talked about the contest. We shared some content. I'm going to go a little out of order here. I want to talk about the book this week, and then we'll dive, because I think that'll help us lead into some of the things we can talk about, the path to 6 figures and some of the stuff we have going on there, and answer your guys' questions and all that stuff. So let me find my little graphic here.
While you do that, Tom, Raving Metrics says, are you going to post all the entries for shark feedback? So Raving Metrics, the way that it works is, if you go in the group right now and you look up the hashtag shark, you're going to see this, right? You hit the little search magnifying glass icon in our group, and you can type the hashtag in. It's just shark. See that there? And you'll see all these. And as they come up in your feed, comment, like them. Let us know which one you like. I mean, you don't have to go back retroactively and find all the ones you like, but that's kind of how we get the vote from everybody, is as they come up in your feed day to day, make sure to like it, comment, let the person know what you like about it, what you don't like about it. That's the best way to cast your vote, so we can get some just spotlight and get some popularity around the ones that other people think are the best.
Yeah. And one more thing I want to share before I go into the book of the week is another thing we have going on behind the scenes here at Offline. Always lots of stuff going on behind the scenes. We've been working on some swag stuff for members of the week and to give away and all that kind of stuff. So I want to ask your guys' opinion. What do you all think of this shirt? If we sent you this shirt, would you wear it? Oh man, shirt. I think that looks great.
Don Chafis says we have starter beards. Don, we're gonna make a shark with a beard just for you, man.
Yeah, I actually just went the other day and had it all trimmed. It was really nice. They just opened that back up here where you can go get your beard trimmed and stuff. It was great. Went to the barber shop. It was nice. Yeah, Don's got definitely the better beard.
Yeah, for sure. Holding it down. For sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about the book this week. So every week I recommend a book, and not every week, but most weeks I recommend a book. We put them at offlinesharks.com/books. So if you want to see all the ones we've recommended, you can go there and check them out. This week, I wanted to pick a book that kind of tied in with what I've been seeing a lot of people talk about in the Facebook group. And, a lot of our trainings are focused around getting clients, right? Prospecting, bringing in new clients, because that really is, that's the number one thing, right? Like if you're going to have an agency, if you're going to be a freelancer, if you're going to do that stuff, you need to be able to get clients. And so like finding different creative ways to do that, how to go through that process and all that stuff. And I know there's been some people in the group that have been, they've been able to, they're reaching out to people, they're making contact, they're doing those things, those strategies are working, but they're struggling a little with the closing and the sales process of all that. And we'll talk a little bit about that with the Path to Six Figures too, and some of the trainings we have on that in there. But the book this week, we actually recommended the first book from this guy a while back, and I meant to do this one sooner, but I didn't. But it's by Jeb Blunt, and it's called Objections, and the Art and Science of Getting Past No. So Jeb's first book was called Fanatical Prospecting, and it was really great. This isn't a thick book, but for those of you that are out there that are maybe, you're making contact with potential prospects, right? Like you're getting appointments, you're talking to people, you're just having, you're coming against a wall when it comes to turning them into paying clients. This book is a great little place to start to be able to get some ideas, some strategy and things around that, right? So, he talks about asking, how to ask, the 4 objections you meet in a deal, the science of resistance, how objections are not rejection, but they feel that way, the science behind the hurt, rejection proof, avoiding objections, prospecting objections. Yes has a number. He's always talking about all kinds of things, micro commitments, buying commitment objections, bending when probability in your favor, and the relentless pursuit of yes. So really, really good book. Jeb's books, if you haven't read them, his first one is the same way. They are like, they're no BS. They're straightforward. They're real world stuff, right? It's not a bunch of fluffy stuff in here. It's real world actionable things you can use. So definitely recommend you check out Objections if that's a point that you're struggling with right now. You're running into some roadblocks, and then we'll also talk about some other stuff we have for that as well.
That sounds like a great one, Tom.
It is.
I distinctively remember when I first learned about what objections were. I always thought, and you guys are going to laugh at me, objection. All I could really think about is like in court, right? Like objection, Your Honor.
I object.
Yeah. So
sustained.
It's funny because I was experiencing objections in my process before I even really knew what they were. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to people and telling them like, yeah, I'll build your website and I'll help you with this. But they would say something like, well, how much is it? Oh, that's a little too pricey for me. Or how long does it take? Or those are objections, like things that they will throw out there to stop the sales process. That can stop the actual sale to go through. And I didn't really know what they were. I just knew that they were happening when I was first getting started. Let me know if you guys are running into any objections, if you know what we're talking about. And the reason I brought that up is because once I learned about what they were, I quickly learned that there are ways around them and under them and over them and through them. And all you have to do to navigate your way around them is to have some of these objection handling strategies in your back pocket. And if you have them in your back pocket, then when you get hit with an objection, there's an easy way around. And it's actually fairly simple to do depending on which objection you have. And there are a lot of ways to handle many types of objections with really the same strategy. And so just identifying that is happening in your sales process is really going to help you to, you'll know when it's happening more often now that you know about them. And you're going to be having a much easier time figuring out how to get around them and then closer to the sale. Trust me. For those of you that are just learning about them now, it's going to be super helpful.
Yeah. And we do a lot of trainings on the prospecting and sales process. So a lot of times when you see the courses we put out, most of those are dealing with bringing new clients in, right? And really where we talk a lot about what happens after you've made that initial contact, right, is inside some of our ongoing trainings, like the Shark Alliance, which if you've seen the emails this week, we've been sharing some content and stuff with you guys from our Shark Alliance, which for those of you that may be new to our community, the Shark Alliance is our monthly mentorship membership program that we have. And it has a couple of different levels. One that is really popular that we've been talking about this week is what's called the Shark Alliance Plus, which comes with a training called the Path to Six Figures, among other things. And the Path to Six Figures, which we'll dive into a little more detail here in a little bit, is like, it's a step-by-step process. So Nick went through and we look back at like, well, how did we get our agencies off the ground? What was the process we went through? Where were kind of the sticking points? What were the skills, the things that we needed to learn each step of the way? And we broke those up into 12 levels. And so the way the Path to Six Figures works is you start at level 1 and you complete that level. And if you have already got some traction, you'll do the first few levels pretty quickly, but you can't move to the next level until you've done the first one. And so, we have baby shark, sand shark, we've got tiger shark. Dorna's went through all 12 levels, which is a megalodon shark. And just so you know, as you get higher in the levels, there's requirements to move on. Like you have to have a certain amount of recurring revenue each month from clients. You have to hit certain income and revenue goals to get there. So, to be a megalodon shark, you have to be making over 6 figures a year to get that. And we, people submit their stuff, we verify it all. So when you see somebody in the group that's a megalodon shark or a tiger shark or a whale shark or a bull shark, know that, those things weren't just handed out, right? Like we verified those people. Those are people you want to listen to because they're actually doing those things, right? Like they've shown us that they've got to those levels. So that's one big piece of the Shark Alliance Plus. But another part of it too is like, look, I'm going to show you my screen here. And I am inside the Shark Alliance Plus members area, right? So not only do you get the Path to Six Figures, right? Let me find it here. Where am I at? I don't know why. I don't know why I don't see it in here. Am I in the wrong one?
What are you looking for?
Oh, no. So the Path to Six Figures is a separate thing. So I was just wondering why I didn't see that there, but I forgot. It's its own thing. I'll show you that in a minute. But these are other things that come with the Shark Alliance Plus membership. So not only do you get access to the Path to Six Figures, but we've also got this Profit First Foundation. We have some exclusive software tools that you get access to, right? Shark Leads, that's something that you can only get inside the Shark Alliance. It's a lead finding prospecting tool. We also do these in the trenches trainings, and you get a couple of these each month where Nick takes you behind the scenes of things he's got going on with clients. And we're talking about objections in sales process. This is what I mean. Like we're able to actually pull out specific situations, things that happened in real life with real clients, and then do some kind of deep dive analysis and training around it to help you get past those same things yourself, right? And so you'll see there's in the trenches trainings in here, like there's a live call where we landed a $2,000 a month client. The most effective way to land an ongoing client, right? How to deal with disgruntled clients. When, why, and how to fire clients. So a lot of things that we really don't have time to cover in some of our, or that aren't directly related to prospecting, but are a part of growing an agency. So these are, I don't know any other place where you can find stuff like this, where it's pulled from actual communications with the clients. And sometimes we record those communications and we share them. We show you all the emails we sent, all that kind of stuff. So these in the trenches trainings, I think, are great as well. But also we do a monthly coaching call and we store all those in here. And so you can see, like, if you go down this list, like Dorn did a training on LinkedIn. He's been using LinkedIn to get clients. So he did a training on that. There's another one down here that's like old school prospecting, right? There was another one I was just looking at a second ago that I was like, oh, how to conduct a sales call. This was another training that Dorn did. I think, was this the one that Dorn's wife was on?
I think it might have been.
The one your wife was on, Dorn, but like Dorn's wife does the sales firm. They came on, they broke down the sales calls. It was amazing. There's, some business best practices, questions and answers, all that kind of stuff, right? Some guest trainings, like we've had John Shea doing some SEO training for people. So, really, there's just a ton of value in these coaching calls, aside from the path to six figures, right? Just, I think the in the trenches and the coaching calls definitely make the Shark Alliance Plus worth it. And what we've got going on right now is we're running a trial, so you can get access to all this stuff for $1. And then I think if you stay with the Shark Alliance Plus, it's only, I think it's like $47 a month. It's really inexpensive for what you get. But like those are the additional things, right? But like, let me just show you the path to six figures. So when you get in here, because we were just talking about this the other day with Cameron, like how valuable this thing is. So not only will you have access to the Plus, you also get access to, I think Shark Bites is included in there, right? Our newsletter, which has a ton of great stuff in it, but you get access to the path to six figures. So this is the path to six figures. And I know it's moving a little slow because I've got this thing fired up. But look, these are all the levels, right? And so what's really great about these levels are we give you everything you need to complete each level, right? So like if we're talking about finding leads to reach out to and prospecting, we give you software if you don't have it so that you can do those things. So each level is complete in and of itself so that you have everything you need, right? So there's 4 steps in the Baby Shark, and then you submit here at the end. And every level is kind of that way. So like, let's take a look at Baby Shark step number 2. You can kind of see this. Most of them will have video training along with links to any supplemental stuff you need, right? So this one is about pricing for maximum profit, right? And you can see not only do we have a training on it, but then we go through, like there's a worksheet, there's a money mind quiz, like we give you all kinds of stuff to go with these things. And every level is this way. Like even if we go to, let's go to Reef Shark. So each step has everything you need. And then at the end you submit and our team approves you, right? So a ton of valuable stuff in here, right? And if you're looking for a step-by-step, what do I do next? I really don't know where to go. I don't know where to start. This will do it because we cover everything from getting your agency set up, like your website. We include a free done-for-you agency website, I think, as part of this deal. So we help you get all that set up. We walk you through how to pick the services that are going to be best for you to offer, how to price them, how to get all your ducks in a row, right? And then start moving into prospecting and doing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's a ton of great value inside here. And again, right now, I know we don't really talk about the Shark Alliance a super amount. It's just something that's kind of there in the background. But right now you can get in. We don't always have it open, but for $1, you can go in and check it all out, see if you like it, all that stuff. And it's really a great place. It has a private Facebook group as well, which is where really all the movers and shakers are. So,
well, also everybody that some of that caught their attention, we have a free preview. Not only is there a $1 trial, but there's a preview. So even before, if you don't even want to join the $1 trial, you can check out the preview. If you go to offlinesharks.com/free preview, and you can see firsthand what some of that stuff looks like. And if you like what you see, you can take it. It's $1. And if you want to stay, then great. But Tom did a really great idea about or summary of all that stuff. And I think the biggest thing for me, Tom, is the accountability that's built into it. And I talk about that whenever we bring up the Shark Alliance, because out of everybody that's here with me, who feels like, tell me if you can relate to this. Let's say you know that you need to be prospecting. You know that you need to be going out there doing these revenue producing activities every single day, right? We talk about this. So you make a commitment to yourself to go out there and you are going to prospect and speak to 5 business owners tomorrow, or you're going to send 5 emails, and you make that promise to yourself. But tomorrow comes around and it just doesn't happen. Put a 1 in the comments if you've had that happen to you before.
oh my God, I've done that so many times, Nick.
Tomorrow's always a better day to prospect, right, Tom?
Yeah. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
Look.
We'll do it tomorrow. And it doesn't just have to be about prospecting. It can be about getting your website set up. It can be about learning a new strategy that you are interested in. Maybe you're not good at search engine optimization, or maybe you don't have a website yet, or maybe you don't, it's accountability is a big part of it. And I've made promises to myself about getting out there and getting after it and doing these things. The problem with that is that nobody is going to hold me accountable when I make this commitment privately to myself. It's much easier to forget about it and say tomorrow's going to be a better day. However, that's where things are different in the Shark Alliance and Path to Six Figures. We hold each other accountable, and the level system, when you go from baby shark to megalodon, that accountability where you can't advance to the next level and get your badge and post that badge in the group and have all the bragging rights with it, you can't get that until you show us that you've done the work that we have requested of you to do to get to the next level. And remember, that work is all reverse engineered based off of our experience to owning 6-figure agencies, right? We have agencies. We've been there. We've done that. And we know the process that we went through to get there. We've broken it up for you in bite-sized chunks, told you how to do it, and then ask you to show us that you've done it. And we teach you how to do it too. So it makes it easy. But that's the biggest part for me. It's the accountability that's built into it. You just, you don't get that anywhere else. So again,
and don't let the price fool you. Like, I mean, it is super packed with value, because when we show a lot of people kind of out there what we're doing in that training, like, they think we're crazy for only charging $47 a month, because a lot of them have training that teaches similar stuff and they charge $5-10 grand for it. Right. So, but we wanted to make it super accessible to anyone, right? That wants to put the time in to learn it. Right now, it's not an automatic thing, right? You have to put in the effort. You have to do the steps for each level. You got to complete all that stuff. But like Nick said, the accountability and actually completing those things also builds that confidence to help you continue to move forward.
Yeah, so check it out, you guys. There's a free preview there. We're gonna keep talking more about it, and if you have any questions about it, let us know in the comments. We're happy to answer any questions. And these questions that you have, the Shark Alliance Path to Six Figures, this is a full stack membership. And for those of you that haven't heard that term before, it's kind of like it's a development term, a software developer term. They call themselves full stack developers when they learn 4, 5, 6, or 7 different programming languages. So when you write code, you have to know these bare essentials, right? The main languages in order to do basically anything. And somebody that knows just like 1 or 2, they write code. But if you're a full stack developer, then you're like the grandmaster, right? This course, this accountability mentorship program, it's really what it is. It's a mentorship program with accountability built in. This is a full stack mentorship where we go through the fulfillment, the client getting, like we don't leave any of that stuff out. So everything that you need is really in there. So when you ask your questions, the reason I brought that up is when you ask your questions right now, they can really be about anything because we have that information. We're happy to share that with you.
Yeah, and while people are typing in some questions, one thing we haven't done yet, Nick, is
here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
that's so great. We should give away some money. We said we were going to give away a lot of money, and we haven't even given away any yet.
Well, we might just take a couple winners on this one question.
Okay, that sounds good.
I will say, if you are a Cash App winner today and you are not already in the Alliance and you do not use some of that Cash App money to do the $1 trial and join the Alliance, I would be so upset with you. I'm gonna show you this coaster.
It's a little. Oh, there you go.
There you go. That's a picture of Tom and I when we first started hanging out. Hard to get it in focus. You guys see that?
Back it up just a little. Yeah, that's great.
All right. Here's my Cash App question. That's a good coaster, though, right?
Yep, I love it.
All right. So we do Cash App giveaways on every live, everybody. A lot of our webinars, all of our events where Tom and I show up, we like to spread the love around and give away some money, ask some trivia questions, do some raffles. Occasionally, we'll give away things like Oculus, and we gave away a bunch of those VRs lately. We'll give away iPads sometimes. So you'll want to show up to all of our trainings every single time, our live show, of course. And we ask questions, and the first one to get the answer correctly is going to get some Cash App money. So this first question, get ready to answer it, is a SEO related question, search engine optimization strategy. So if you're doing local SEO, what is the first step in any local SEO strategy? You have to claim this one thing. And you should use your context clues. Use your context clues there. Well, I was playing Trivial Pursuit with my wife the other day, and that's a thing. Using your context clues.
Oh, I think Henry Carey was the first one.
Fast on the fingers.
Fast on the finger. Yep. Here's Henry Carey. Oh, sorry.
That's right. You need to claim your Google My Business listing. GMB stands for Google My Business. And the way that works, everybody, is interestingly enough, Google, for those of you that don't know, it buys data. It buys data from different directory platforms out there. I don't know which ones, probably all of them, but basically it scrapes the internet. So if you're familiar with our AGM strategy, where we scrape Google for businesses and then we import them into our site, that's basically what Google does. They scrape businesses and put them into their maps functionality. So you'll find in Google Maps, there are businesses in there and they have a pin on the map, but they haven't been claimed by anybody. Like Google got their data from Yellow Pages and put it into their system so they could be helpful to anybody that's searching the internet. Now, you have to claim that business listing so you get your pin on the map. So if you're trying to be found in search and you haven't claimed your pin, then you're not really going to be found. So that's why a lot of our members here know the answer. A lot of you are probably in the Shark Alliance and you have access to the SEO Shark Academy, where we talk about this stuff in more detail. But that's really the where it all starts. And I just think it's funny that Google does that strategy and our strategy is kind of the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And actually, we just found out, I didn't know this, but you know who else did that strategy?
I was just going to ask you about this.
Yeah, Elon Musk.
Yep.
Elon Musk. His first business that he ever sold, that he made money on, I think it was called Zip2. Has anybody ever heard of Zip2? Zip2. And what it was right around the time the internet really started getting, popping off. And he basically had the idea to buy, he bought data, basically. He bought same thing that Google did, right? Buying data. And he created a way to search that data. And his idea behind it was like, everybody should know where to get a pizza close by, how to get it delivered. And so that's where his thought process was. And remember, back then, people thought the internet was a fad, it wasn't going to be this big thing. And he eventually put that together and got some traction with it. He was selling premium listings. And he built this thing. He eventually took on some venture capital, got some funding, which then made it really skyrocket. Eventually sold it for multiple hundreds of millions. I think it was 200 or 300 million. And pretty incredible story. And I didn't even know that. I thought, his initial big thing that he made it on was one of the co-founders of PayPal, but no, it was Zip too.
Well, I thought it was interesting too that you told me the other day that you had dinner there in New York with one of our sharks who actually works at Yext. And so you were there with a bunch of people from Yext. And you said that's how Yext started too, right? They were an online directory.
And that's how Yext started too. There's a trend here. There's a trend here, and we're part of it. I hope you guys see that. We're part of it, and I hope a lot of you that have AGM are part of it as well. But I met with a couple sharks here in the city, which was great. Pretty cool because, I mean, you don't get to see a lot of that in Hawaii, right? You don't get to just walk down the street and run into some sharks. So, I mean, Tom and I, there are some, but not a whole lot. But pretty cool that like I had dinner the other night with 4 or 5 people that all worked at Yext. And Tom and I have used Yext. We used it. I'm not using it anymore, but we did use Yext like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, well, we became a certified Yext partner and we went through all that stuff.
Yeah. And so I was walking down the street on Broadway and I saw this Yext. They have this beautiful building. It's huge. It's like skyscraper, super new age. And I'm like, holy shit, that's Yext? When did this happen? And I walked in and I was like, hey, can I go upstairs? Can you guys doing any tours? Like, I used to be a certified partner with you guys. And I was just trying to see if I could reach out and make some connections with you guys. I mean, it was easy to talk about. Don says Yext is evil. Dorn says Yext is extortion. That's funny. But I went in and there was a shark in the lobby. There was a shark in the lobby and he knew who I was. I was wearing a mask and he was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, me? And Scott Hall, one of our sharks. So I had dinner with a bunch of them the other night. It was really cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. When you told me that, I thought that was great. Maybe we should let's do a couple of questions. So I know I have some questions here in the show notes. So a couple of things. So Carolyn James asked, she said, look, I've hired an appointment setter. Does anyone know how to allow them to use my Skype phone number remotely? Do you know the answer to that, Nick?
Should I say that again?
She asked if there's a way for her appointment setter to use her Skype number remotely.
Yeah, she can. I mean, if you put credits on your Skype account, you can make phone calls to phone numbers. That's how it works.
They just log into your Skype account and do it?
Yeah. But the alternative to that, I would say, and I know we have people doing this, are using like a Google voice number, which you can use internationally. I think it's probably a little more stable than Skype. I would probably lean on using the Google voice number and making calls through that.
That's a good tip. Virginia Purnell, she asked a question about the mailer and the coupons. She said, on the contract that's included, it shows $147 for ad design and layout. Do you charge that extra or is it included in the $500 or 5 cents per ad space price? And Virginia, that's a great question. And that having that on the contract was actually a little psychological trick I used to close clients if they were on the fence. So I would tell them that I would waive that fee. So basically, I waived the fee for everyone. I never charged anyone that fee, but it was a nice little, if they signed up and I brought the contract out, I would just waive it there. So it was like almost like an unannounced bonus, right? I'd say normally it's 147, but like because you're a first time advertiser or whatever, I'm waiving that. So it brought more value to them, right? You can, of course, charge a fee for those ad designs if you want. But I like to being able to do it that way. And then if I had somebody on the fence and they're like, I don't know, I'd say, well, look, I tell you what, normally, there'd be a charge for this, but I'll just waive it today. Or I would combine it with something else. Like I would say, hey, I noticed, right, that you haven't claimed your Google My Business listing. I normally charge $249 to do that for clients or whatever I'm charging at the time, right? If you sign up for an ad today, I'll give you the ad, I'll do the design, and I'll help you get your business claimed at no additional charge. So I would do that as well.
It's a good strategy.
Yeah, it works. It works like gangbusters. So really, really great. Let's see. What is some other questions we have here? Do you guys have you that are on the live call? Do you have any questions you want to ask us? Pop them in the chat.
Dorn says he rolls that pricing into his fee. I think he's talking about the Google Voice. So Google Voice International, everybody, costs $30 a month. That's a pretty good price point.
Do you get unlimited calls for that?
Dorn, do you know if you get unlimited calls for that?
But that's really inexpensive for an international thing.
Someone said, that's a good idea. You have to trust that person. They could lock you out of the account and then still pose. You're talking about adding. So if you have a Skype account, you're talking about adding money to that Skype account and giving your appointment setter access to that account. I'm not sure.
So the way that we do a lot of that stuff, and I don't know if Skype allows you to do this, but like we store all of our stuff in LastPass, which I know a lot of people have been running from LastPass, but you could use something similar to that, right? Something where the person doesn't actually have your logins and passwords. And that way, when we have somebody on our team, they can access all the stuff they need to access. But if for some reason they leave us or we have to let them go, like we can just go into that password manager with one click and take away all the access, and we don't have to change everything up and all that stuff. So that's how we do that. And I know Rick asked where I got the shirt. So Rick, these shirts are from a company called G2OH. They make they have a lot of fitness clothings. Like this is where I got the Always Hungry with the shark and the barbell. And I got this one. They've got some other ones too with these kind of sayings, but let's see. Here's a good one. What lead scraper do you use? So John, we use a few different ones. So we have different ones that do different things, right? So sometimes if we're focusing on a specific service, like maybe we're focusing on social media management, we'll use Soci Spy, right? If we're doing reputation, we'll use Rep Finder. We also use, like as our overall one, we use Lead Kahuna a lot. We have some lead softwares that we developed for our agency, like the Shark Leads tool that's in the Shark Alliance. Plus, we have one called Google GMB Gunner that finds people that haven't claimed their GMB listing. So, a lot of times it depends on what we're doing, whether we're trying to do something specific, general, whatever, right? But there's a lot of really good ones out there, and we've been using another one too, which I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I think we're going to talk about next week, right, Nick? We're going to have a training on it, and
we are going to be talking about it next week. So like Tom said, there are a number of them, but each one has a more specific lead finding capability is really what it comes down to. And if you're looking for like the most robust one that finds all of the weaknesses, all of the data points, costs a little bit more, you want to check out Lead Kahuna. And we actually have a trial, like a backdoor trial to it. If you go to offlinesharks.com/lead kahuna, one word, you can get it. You can access it for 14 days. You can search as many leads as you want. And that's just for our sharks. You can't find that trial anywhere. So
Yeah. Hold on, there's another question I saw here. So somebody asked, when you're talking value of your price to a potential client, i.e. tradesman, how do you work out how much they charge for their own services or customer transaction? I don't know what this is. So that there's actually a formula. So if you just Google how to do ROI with a customer, you can find this formula online. I know we cover it in some of our trainings, but there's actually a way that you can figure that out where you take what they charge for their service with the lifetime value of their clients, and then you're able to show them this is how many jobs you would need to get to pay for this service. So I know in the CCSU, the mailer training, we have that worksheet and stuff where we can sit down and show somebody like, look, what do you charge? What's your service cost? How many times do they come in? And then you can show them that based on that and the price of your ad, whatever the price of your ad is, you only need, and for most people, it comes out to only be like 1 to 2. They only need like 1 to 2 people to come in to have a positive ROI. So I do it that way. But you can find other worksheets and stuff online if you just search for that. That will do it there as well.
The other metric that's good to go off of, you guys, is Google assigns a cost per click for specific search terms, right? So if you're doing you're working with a specific industry, like let's say you're doing working with a dentist, or you're trying to work with a dentist, and you're trying to figure out what you could be charging them, you can look it up. It's a public information. What the cost per click is in Google. Actually, if I have a little tool here that I use I'm going to share my screen real quick for you guys. I have a little tool that I use that is called Keywords Everywhere. No. Yes. Keywords Everywhere. See here in the lower right-hand corner, or on the right-hand side. And I think they're actually might have started charging for this, like $6 a year or something crazy. But what it does is it tells you a lot of data in your searching. So it makes this knowledge graph on the right, and it can tell you how many people are searching for this, and then also, or for these different terms, and then relevant terms, and then it also tells you in the bottom here the search volume and the I think they did away with the cost per click. Think they did away with the cost per click, Tom.
Well, I know you can find it in the keyword planner, right?
Yeah,
like
so you can go to the
put
keyword planner to find the cost per click. But the way that you get that formula, you guys, is if they're charging $3 per click, and you can drive X amount of clicks through search engine optimization or social media or SEO or any of those ways, you can kind of track those clicks through Google Analytics, and you can say, look, we can, if we send 500 people your way, Google says they're worth $3 a person. So that would be what, $1,500? So, that's an easy way that you can get that breakdown too, and a metric you can go off of.
Yeah. Somebody said people are running from LastPass. I remember that. Yeah, there was some kerfuffle about LastPass and some change in their, like, it's basically the free version. So they took away some functionality of the free version, I think, and that has caused some people to look for other options. We love LastPass. We use it all the time.
The premium is only $3, so come on.
Yeah, it's like so inexpensive. It's like, let's see. This says, what do you all use or have to rank local listings, GMBs, etc., to the top of Google for medium to high competition keywords? So we don't really, we use a variety of things to do this, right? So we follow a lot of, well, Nick, you're the SEO expert. Why don't you take this one instead of listening and try to bumble through it?
A simple answer for this one is you can use something like the tool that we promoted earlier in the week, Josh Zamoro's Done For You Suite, right? That link syndication tool where you can you can take the link to your Google My Business and send it out to all these different syndication networks, and that will give you some link juice. But the other thing that you can do is just buy some citations. You can buy some citations. And again, for those of you that are like, if you have this question, you might really consider joining the Shark Alliance, because we go over this exact thing in detail. We have a Google My Business section that talks about ranking GMBs, and we explain what citations are, which is everywhere around the internet where your business can be registered with its name and its address and phone number on directory sites like Yellow Pages and AGM. Those are directory sites. But the more places, and there are top sources of these networks where you can have a listing registered. And the more of those sources that you have your business registered on that has your exact business name, address, and phone number consistent through all of those places, including your Google My Business, that is a way that you are going to rank higher in maps. And you can do that just by buying an outsourced service of citations. We buy them like by 50 to 100, and somebody else does it for us. And it's pretty inexpensive. We just roll that cost into our monthly SEO retainer, and we charge $1,000 a month. And we have a margin of around 70%. So we keep 70%, and the other percentage, we just use that to fund all the fulfillment, and we don't do any of the work. So if you're interested in that business model, definitely check out the Shark Alliance $1. You can see the link on the screen. We go into that.
Yeah, John says, do you think there'd be a lot of resistance when one's calling from an area code that's not local? Would Google Voice solve that? And I saw Dorn answered this question on the bottom. He said, your Google number has an area code. You can change the number for a small fee. John, like, I think, yes, I think that's just natural, right? If it's an out of not a local area code, there is going to be resistance there. But it's also true, like, even if it's a local area code, just the unknown number gets resistance as well, right? So, I actually just saw an article yesterday I was reading about. It's one of the big financial companies. Like, they're no longer training their sales staff on cold calling, because getting people to answer unknown numbers is difficult as well. So, like anything, you have to just keep trying, like you're going to run into that stuff. That's why a lot of times we recommend a multi-prong approach, right? Like, we don't just do cold calling. Like, we do email outreach, we do in-person networking, like we do reaching out through social media, direct messaging. Like, we recommend having a lot of different ways to reach out. That way, you're not tied into one thing that's maybe not working. Nick, we should give away some more money here.
I don't know. We don't have very many likes on the stream.
Now, let me look through here. Let me find some other questions here while people are doing that. How do you get the link to the GMB listing? I'm not sure what he's...
Here, I'll show you real quick. So
that's from Rick.
Of course it is. What's up, Rick? So, Rick, you're trying to get the link to the Google My Business page, right? So if you do a search, like if I look for my business, right, type in Nick Ponte, and you'll see my business comes up. If I check the maps section, you'll see that this is my listing, right? It has the pin. This is my link right here at the top of the page. Google.com/map/place/Nick Ponte. That's my listing. And if you take that link, and if let's say Yext, or let's say, what's another bit? Let's say Digital Marketer took that link and posted on their website. And because Digital Marketer, people know about them. They're related to SEO and stuff like that. Or maybe that's not a good one. Let's say Moz. Moz is a better one, right? If Moz took my Google Business link and posted it on their website, that would immediately tell Google that I'm probably trusted by this big authority website has all sorts of content about marketing and search engine optimization and relevancy for for what I'm trying to rank for. So you have to look at SEO in that mindset and try to get as much authority to the different links to your site. And even if it's Google My Business, that's a big portion of it, because if you look at my website, I have a link to my Google Business on my website, because that link juice passes through. It's like a bucket. It passes through. It's a bucket with a hole to another bucket. It passes through to wherever it's linked to. That's why I have this Google My Business map embed at the bottom of my website, because there's a link there to my GMB page that has all kinds of other links going to it that make it more relevant for local SEO. Again, all stuff that we cover in the Shark Alliance. If this is all stuff you're interested in, you'll want to go into our trial, offlinesharks.com/free preview, and we give you more information about that.
Yeah, there's another thing too here. I saw Mark Bustamante ask a question about a DOP. I'm not sure. Do you know what a DOP is?
I don't know. No,
I would just be guessing based on his thing. Mark, what does DOP stand for?
It's one of the most important things when learning how to cook traditional and authentic Italian food, Tom.
I don't think that's what he's talking about.
He's going to laugh at us. He's like, what? You guys don't know what it is? I mean.
Yeah, I know. Like, I see he says like that included touching a file. So I'm thinking it's like some sort of process maybe for like that you go through when you first walk into the office, almost like a morning routine, right? I don't know if this is, let me see if he answered.
Daily operation procedure?
Oh yeah, daily operation procedure.
SOPs, standard operating procedures, but daily, oh, he made it up. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, we have standard operating procedures for a lot of the systems and stuff in our business, right? I think maybe what you're asking about, Mark, is like, or what I was thinking when you asked that was about prospecting. And like when we were doing the prospecting ourselves, right? Like when I knew today's going to be a prospecting day, I definitely did have a procedure in place. Like number one was on the days that I prospected, I did not get up in the morning and first thing look at my email. Like I made sure that I wasn't doing anything until I was doing like the prospecting was the first thing I did. It was like I already had the list, the people I was going to reach out to from the night before. So it was like that's all I focused on, because what I found for me is like if I got up in the morning and started answering email first, like there'd be some problem. A client would have an issue. I would get irritated and then I wouldn't want to do the prospecting. So I had to have a procedure of like, okay, today's a prospecting day. So get up in the morning, maybe go for a walk, do a workout, listen to upbeat music, maybe read like a piece of inspirational sales material, and then like hit the office and just start doing the prospecting and don't stop until I've hit whatever quota I set for that day. Like if my thing was 20 outreach things that day, like just do it, get it done, get it over with. And so I had to have that in place. Otherwise, like if I, what I found would happen to me is I'd look at email, I'd call Nick, like all of a sudden, then it's like, I'd lose time and then I'd be like, I don't feel like doing it, like whatever it is. So I don't know if you had anything like that, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. It comes back to that accountability thing that we were talking about, right? The ability to stay accountable with what you're trying to do there. And one of the things, and I'm going to tie this back into the path to six figures here. In order to proceed to the next level, you will hit a section where we ask of you to do prospecting, either through email or direct message or walking into businesses or calling. You can choose which method, and we show you how to do each method. But what we do is we ask you to post what your intention is in the Facebook group. So if you're in the Shark Alliance Facebook group, you'll see people saying, I commit to contacting 25 businesses over the next week, because they are making that commitment to everybody in that group. Again, that's a way that we help people be accountable. So they're making the accountability promise to the group, not just themselves. If you go on social media right now and you start saying, I'm going to lose weight this month, it's a lot more difficult to not follow through on that because you've told everybody. You know what I mean? Now, if you just keep that promise to yourself and don't say anything to anybody, it's a lot easier to just go back on that. So you see how that works? It's kind of a mindset thing.
Yeah. Hey, I think because I know we went a little over, Nick, I just realized, but we need to do this one.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Let's give away some more Cash App money. And then let's let people get on with their Fridays.
All right, let's do it. So the next question, I hope you all have been joining us. Obviously, like I said, if you are a Cash App winner, you should join the $1 Shark Alliance trial with that money. It'll be the best investment you've ever made in yourself. Here's a question. What is the name of the badge received in level 2 of the Path to Six Figures?
Oh,
It's a good question.
I
You
may
get
have even-
badges. So when you complete a level, you get a badge that you get to post. You get to have it on your profile in our Shark Alliance members area. There are bragging rights that go with it. Dorn, you might have seen Dorn is one of our Megalodons. We talk about it a lot. I see a lot of people have got the correct answer in there.
Can you find them to pick out the...
I'm trying. Let's see. I see.
It gets out of control really fast in the comments.
I see. Looks like Dorn.
Oh, we got to
Got
give
it first.
somebody else some money.
But Chigo got it next.
Darn, Chigo. Give one to BM there, too.
Yep. And let's do BM. BM and Chigo, please put your cash tag in the comments. Dorn.
We have yours on file.
Yeah. Don't worry, dude.
That's awesome. Congratulations to the winners. That's great. That's great. Well, man, it's been another amazing Aloha Friday Marketing Jam session. You guys had some really great, smart questions. We appreciate all the interaction. Congratulations to all the Cash App winners. Again, the contest entrants, you guys are doing awesome. Keep it up. Put that stuff in there. We'll be announcing those winners next week. And next week, we'll be coming to you not from Hawaii. One of us will not be in Hawaii for the first time, I think, ever. That's crazy. Yeah. So, enjoy your weekend out there. Have a safe Memorial Day. As a reminder to anyone in the Shark Alliance Elite, there will be no Shark Alliance call on Monday because it's a holiday. So no Shark Alliance call on Monday, but we will be meeting again the next week. So enjoy your holiday. Stay safe out there, everybody. Practice Aloha, and we will see you later.
You've been listening to the Sharks Live Show, your weekly local marketing jam session. Every week, packed full of local marketing strategy, tactics, tips, and fun. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube and Tom's podcast at tomgaddis.com. We'll be back here next Friday for another Sharks Live Show. Until then, aloha.